quite a lovely day, sunny and hot day today. So I guess we had a bit of the sun before joining this call. So for today, we will be looking at a very interactive lesson today, cooking lesson, that will be led by one of our very own, Sylvia. So Sylvia will take us through some plant diets and the recipe throughout everything, how to cook different ones as side dishes and also as some main and desserts. So I would first of all introduce Sylvia so that Sylvia would be able to take the floor. So Sylvia is Sylvia. Her name is Sylvia Ofobi. She's a registered nutritionist and a chef, a very good chef to that effect. And she's currently a health coach with primary health care on their program on trying to encourage people to deliver talks for healthy eating, for people to lose weight, healthy weight. And she's a nutritionist also on our Sahara team, the Sahara nutrition team. So Sylvia, I would hand over the floor to you to take us through. You're on mute now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Evans. I hope we've all had a beautiful day. I'm just going to share my screen now and just pull up my slides. Okay, can everyone see my slides?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, okay, we can see your slide, yeah.
Thank you. So for today's session, I will be running through plant-based nutrition and mainly focusing on cooking with plant foods. So I have a recorded video of some recipes that I have shared on cooking with plant foods and also some of the benefits of including plants in our diet. So some of the benefits of having a plant-based diet. So I'm just going to share that recorded video and I'm going to pause the videos at interval. So if you have any question you want to ask, you can ask me. So I'm going to share the recorded video. Just a minute, please. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to another cooking demo session with me. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great. So I'm going to play now and pause after the first recipe. So there are 3 recipes in this video, and after the first recipe, I'm going to pause it and take questions before we continue to the other recipes. Chef Mali. In today's session, we'll be discussing plant-based diet while focusing on cooking with plant foods. Plant-based diet is a diet based on foods that come from plants. Basically, so that's foods that contain little or no animal ingredients at all. So we're thinking vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes and beans, whole grains, oils such as plant oils such as olive oil, vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and so much more. Now, when we say you're on a plant-based diet, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a vegetarian or you're vegan, or it doesn't also mean that you're staying away from meat, you're never eating meat or things like that. So simply just means that you eat more of food from plant sources in the right portion, and this is also made easier using the Eat Well guide, which recommends that your diet should contain low saturated fat and it should be high in whole grains, legumes and beans, fruits and also vegetables. Generally, when we hear about plant foods, we immediately think vegetables, fruits and leafy greens. Majority of us tend to shy away from legumes because it's beans. Some of us say we don't like beans, so we have beans and soya beans. Different variety of beans basically, and a lot more. This is why the first recipe I'm going to be sharing with you is a green bean stir fry. Now, this is a Chinese recipe that I heard is very popular among Ghanaians. I don't know how true it is, but I heard from a few Ghanaians that it's quite popular in Ghana. So, for this recipe, I'm going to be using green beans. They are otherwise known as French beans or runner beans or snap beans. So I'm going to be using green beans, onions, chili, some garlic, which we're going to mince. I'm going to be using minced meat. And then for the original recipe, it uses they use cornstarch to thicken it, but because I had to tweak this to create a healthy recipe, so we're going to be using tomato puree. So basically this was a blend of tomatoes, onions and pepper. I just put it on the stove and reduced it to thicken it a bit, so I'm going to be using that as thickener instead of the cornstarch. And what's a Chinese recipe without the 3 Chinese sauces? So I'm going to be using rice wine vinegar and oyster sauce and light soy sauce. First things first, I'm going to chop off the beans. I don't think cooking with green beans is quite popular for a lot of people because most times kids tend to pick it out of their meals. I think it's only popular in fried rice, so you get to see more green beans in fried rice, in stir-fried pastas, but we rarely see green beans as the main ingredient in a dish. It's usually just by the side. So just chop this up. Now, green beans is one of the legumes that is high in protein. So it contains high amounts of protein, it's low in fat and no cholesterol at all. So honestly, this is a plant food that we would love to include in our diets. So I'm just going to chop that finely. Now, studies have also shown that aside from the fact that it contains no cholesterol at all, green beans also has the ability, the fiber, because it's also rich in fiber. So the fiber in green beans can reduce LDL levels in our body system. That is what we call the bad cholesterol. So aside from reducing LDL levels, it also reduces total cholesterol levels. And there's also the possibility that it may support the health of our heart, and this is done by lowering our blood pressure. So the fiber in green beans helps to lower our blood pressure, making our heart more healthy. It's also rich in vitamins and minerals, so vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin niacin, and folate. So it's really a plant food that it's packed with a lot of nutrients. Okay, so my beans is all chopped up. I'm just going to scoop this into a bowl and set that aside. So aside from the green bean stir fry, aside from this recipe, I'm also going to show you how to make green beans just as a side dish. So we're just going to we'll do something about that. I'll just show you how to stir fry it and add some seasoning to it, and just have that as a side dish with your rice or anything. Finally mince my onions. So again, you don't have to cut your veggies the way I cut them. You can do whatever you want. Just have fun with it. Chili is optional, so if you don't like chili, if you don't like a bit of spice, you don't have to put this in, or you could just use the powdered form. I'm just going to chop that in bits. Next, I'm going to mince the garlic. Okay, so now this is all chopped up. All our veggies are all chopped up. Next, I'm going to work on the minced meat. So to our minced meat, I'm going to be adding the reduced salt soy sauce. So just add a bit. I'll add some oyster sauce. Okay. And I'll add a bit of the rice wine. So I'm just going to give that a mix. Just loosen the meat and make sure everything has a bit of seasoning everywhere. Okay, so break it into pieces as much as you can, because it's stir fry, and with stir fry you want to make sure that whatever you're using, your veggies, meat and everything is in bits, because we're going to be cooking on high heat, so we want everything to cook like really fast, and we don't want to burn the food out or get to overcook our veggies. So yeah, so that is already in bits. So we're just going to head to the stove now and mix everything together. Okay, so now I'm going to just add I always use olive oil with chili, so I'm just going to add a bit. Let that heat up for a while, and then so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stir fry the meat. I'm stir frying the meat first because I don't want the veggies to overcook. When stir frying, it has to be on high heat, and you have to always work fast. So ensure that all your ingredients are ready and on the go, you can see that the meat is already browning up. Still trying to break it apart in the pan. So you can see that has cooked fast, and I'm going to take it out because I don't want the meat to start releasing the juice immediately. So I'm just going to put this in a pan, toss this in a pan and set aside. So now I'm going to add in diced onions and pepper and garlic. And adding a bit of oil. Now, once the onions are a bit translucent, I'm going to add in the chopped green beans, that is fair. I'll add in some oyster sauce. Bit of seasoning, okay. I don't let my veggies overcook, so I'm just going to add in. You can see that the meat has already released its juice, so I'm just going to add everything in. So normally this is the point where you put in your cornstarch, but because we're trying to make this healthy, I'm just going to add in my tomato puree. All this is still cooking on high heat. Just mix that all up. At this point, I'm just going to reduce the heat, basically just turn it off. Because I don't want the veggies or even the meat to overcook. I'm just going to serve that out. All done. So now this, you can have this with rice or pasta or any other carb food you want to have this with. That was a very fast and easy recipe. So okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm just going to come back and find if anyone has any questions concerning that recipe or anything they would like me to clarify just before we move on to the next recipes.
That looks delicious, and it's I liked it because it was quite quick to get on with.
Yes, that was the whole point. Yeah, so it's always something. I always like to share recipes that are easy to make, because one of the major issues people have with eating healthy is that they tell you, oh, they're too tired to cook or they don't have that time. So I always tend to share things that are easy and fast to make. So there's no excuse.
Okay. So
Thank
just
you.
before others come in with their questions, I just wanted to ask one quick one. When it comes to green beans, I don't know, others that are not, some people don't just like green beans. Are there any other lentils that could be easily used for this stir fry?
Yes, well, actually, you can use chickpeas for this. So if you don't want to use the green beans, you can use chickpeas. I wouldn't recommend your regular beans or any other type of beans aside from, because it will be a bit really soft. It won't be firm enough. So, but you can use chickpeas. I can recommend chickpeas. You can use sugar snaps. You can even use your regular other veggies such as the bell peppers, the sweet bell peppers. You can use broccoli. You can use any other veg.
Okay, that's nice to know. All right, so yeah, the floor is open if anybody wants to ask anything regarding this quick and easy way to make a stir fry.
Okay, yes. Kiki says yummy and fast to
Yeah.
cook and reasonable in cost. Thank you. Yes, actually, it's very reasonable in cost. It's quite very affordable. Okay, so how long do I cook the green peas for? So yes, so the first stir fry I did, the first part I did, that was for a minute, and then when I added the meat into it, I cooked it for another minute and just took it off. So because most times the heat will still cook the peas, and then if you're, and also for people who are cooking in bulk and you just want to put in the fridge, so that by the time you bring it out the next day or a few days after, the beans is still a bit firm and crunchy. So max, let's just say 2 minutes max with the green peas. Thank you very much, Martina. Thank you. Okay, yes, Kiki says, what was the yellow seasoning you added to the stir fry? It's just the regular bouillon cube. It's the regular seasoning cube. So I just crushed about half and just added it in. Yes, that is also optional. So another thing with this recipe, while I was taking, so the original recipe actually does have sugar in it. So most Chinese recipes will have sugar in it, but definitely because it's a healthy recipe, I had to take out the sugar and replace that with the seasoning. But you can also take out the seasoning and just have it with the with just the sauces. There's one particular thing that I'm wondering if anyone took note of.
Yeah, I think let's see. Any more? Maybe somebody here to
If
ask
somebody took
before
notes or
you
somebody
give it
was to
out.
ask, there was one major thing with the sauces. It had to do with the sauces that were used. Anyone at all? Okay. So basically, I didn't use salt in the recipe. There was no use of salt. Now that's because when you're using, yes, thank you, Kiki, salt. So when you're using soy sauce, whether you're using the light or the dark, it's not advisable. I wouldn't advise you still use salt because it already contains salt. Soy sauce on its own is very salty. So, and most times I prefer using the lighter soy sauce than the darker soy sauce. So, whenever I use soy sauce in cooking, I take that as salt. I basically just avoid using salt. And then I've also noticed that we also, with some other Chinese recipes, when it has to do with soy salt, they don't use salt anymore. Even with the seasoning, they'll tell you it's optional. If you taste it and you feel you want to add seasoning to it, that's fine. That's your personal preference. But normally, it's not advisable to still use salt because that will be a better way for you to watch your salt intake. This is why we always advise that it's better for people to make their own meals because with that you get to watch your salt intake, you get to watch your sugar intake. So now if you were getting this dish from a regular Chinese restaurant, you already have the cornstarch in, you have the sugar in, and probably maybe whoever's making the dish must have added a bit of salt or extra seasoning and things like that. Now, you weren't there to watch all of that or tell them what to do. But if you're making it on your own, if you're making any recipe on your own, you know that you have the ability to watch your salt intake and your sugar intake. You know that when you're cooking with soy sauce, you shouldn't add salt to it again. And if your recipe calls for sugar, just remove the sugar and use a bit of seasoning and you'll be fine. Yes, Kiki.
Kiki's hand is up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Kiki, go ahead.
yeah, good afternoon, and thank you very much, Sylvia. I noticed that, well, I did not think that was a major issue for me, that you did not put salt, because once, like you said, cooking with soy sauce and oyster sauce, I don't usually put any, I don't even put Maggi sauce, I don't even put any more seasoned. But what I really wanted to ask was the thickening. And you have constituted, you've changed it, alternated it to puree,
Yeah.
and that you've pre-done it. Can you use like oh God, come on, peanut butter sauce?
Yes, you can use peanut butter sauce actually. You
Thank you.
can. I actually use peanut butter sauce for a lot of things. So you can use peanut butter sauce, or you can use any other plant-based butter.
Aha.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
can also use almond butter or cashew butter.
Oh, great. Thank you. Because I use almond flour and just cream it, just
Yes.
puree, and oh, great. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Thank you. That's also another option. Yes, because also with the cornstarch, if you're not using cornstarch, most times people use just flour and water. So instead of using the flour and water, you can use your almond flour or any plant flour. You have maybe oat flour or something, and you can use that. Yes, that will also work very well. Thank you. So also, if you're also worried about, oh, will the kids eat this? Because the main ingredient in the dish is green beans. What if they pick it out of the meal? So now that's the thing. So if you have a family and you want to make this for the kids, I will advise don't put the rice wine in because it has a very tangy flavor. So don't put that in. Just use only the oyster sauce and the soy sauce. And because the oyster sauce has that, it has a bit of sweetness to it. So it might the green beans might not taste like the regular green beans that they have when it's fried rice. The green beans in fried rice will just taste plain because it's just maybe salt or regular seasoning. So it won't taste the same. So it tastes better and sweeter. So you can try that with them and see if they will prefer that.
Okay, that's nice. Any more question before we move to that on? Let me ask a quick one before we look at the green beans as a side dish. So what about the meat? You use minced meat. Besides minced meat, is there any other meat that you could have used?
Yes, actually. So it doesn't necessarily have to be minced meat. So it can be any animal protein, any animal products of your choice. So you can use shrimps, you can use beef strips, you can use chicken, you can even use fish, you can use your salmon. So because it's stir fry, you just have to ensure that whatever meat you're using has to be in bits. So if you're using beef, you need to make sure it's cut into strips. Same thing too goes for the chicken and for the salmon.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think there's no more questions. So we'll move to the
Okay, so
next one, the next
yeah,
video.
just share my screen now.
Yeah.
The other recipe I spoke about, we're just going to stir fry the beans and add a little bit of seasoning to it. So this is the beans. It has been cleaned and washed. For this recipe, you can do with any type of legumes at all. So you can do with sugar snaps. You can also do with edamames. It's a very versatile and nice recipe. Okay, so I'm going to be adding some chili flakes. I'm just using chili flakes and salt because, like I said, this is like a side dish, so I don't need to put in too much seasoning. But if you want to add any other seasoning, if you want to add more flavor, you can do that. You can add any other seasoning you want. You can add garlic powder or ginger powder too. But I'm just going to be using salt and chili flakes. So once again, I'm using my chili olive oil. You can use any type of oil. You can use sesame oil to get that Chinese flavor, that Chinese vibe. But I'm just going to use olive oil. So depending on what theme you want to go for, you can use any oil at all. And I'm just going to toss the beans in. Remember, whenever you're doing a stir fry, you always have to stir fry on high heat. so it's fast and the veggies tend to cook faster. Keep giving that a stop. I'm not going to overcook this because I still want. So I'm not going to overcook this because I don't want the veggies to be soft. I still want it to be firm. You can see how it looks now. It tends to turn a bit greener when it's ready. So that's all done. So just like as I earlier said, you can have this as a side dish, or you can have it as a starter before the main meal. So first time I tried this recipe, I tried the way edamame. So you can do the same thing for your edamames and have that as a starter before the main dish. And with your run-up beans, you can serve this as a side dish with your main meal. So you can see the beans are they're cooked. It's quite tasty, and you can hear the crunch, so it's still crunchy, and basically all the flavors, everything, all the nutrients are still retained. It's really nice. Studies have shown. Okay, so I'm going to come back again just for that. Yes, so I'm just going to throw this to the public. So usually, do we have when you serve your main dish, do you usually have side dish by the side? Do you always have, or you just serve rice and stew or pasta and stew? How do you work with your veggies? How do you make your veggies more palatable? What do you do to your veggies, or you just cut them up and just throw them in on the plates?
For me, it really depends on the mood and the time. Sometimes I saute it just like what you've done, and sometimes I just steam it really fast one, steam it and then put it on the side. If I'm steaming it with no seasoning at all, just steam, no salt, nothing on it. But then if I'm sauteing it, then I can just put a bit of flavor.
Okay, so now you see why the kids won't eat that, because if you have kids, even I won't eat that, because to me it would be just very bland, like having bland vegetables. So yes, I understand because of time, no time to saute. So if we're going to steam it, you can steam it and drizzle a bit of balsamic vinegar on it if you have kids, because to attract them with that sweet tooth. If it's just you having that, you can just steam it and drizzle a bit of sesame oil. Sesame oil has this appealing aroma that makes you want to eat. It has that appealing aroma and it has a very nice taste. So you can just drizzle that on it and sprinkle some salt on it or something and just toss it up. So that will also be nice instead of serving it plain and making it boring like that. So aside from using legumes, you can also do that with like I mentioned, your sugar snaps, your edamames. You can even do it with your regular sweet bell peppers, and any other veggie. Okay, Kiki, yes, I can see your
Sorry,
hand.
I said that there is this package I sent in the forum today. Just because I buy that and it's really sweet on its own. So I don't really have, and it's got sweet corn, carrot and broccoli. So that's why I don't put any more flavors on it. But if I'm doing just the veggies on its own, like the legumes, then that's why I sit it. But this one, and it's a package that, it's really easy. It's in Iceland, 140 something or 170 something. I just put it, I shared it in the.
Yeah, I'll check it out on the group and see. I'd like to try it and see.
Yeah, it's a big packet and it has 4 little packets in it. You can either put it in the microwave or you can steam it anyhow, and you can just So that's why with that one I don't put anything on it, because it's got the sweet corn and the carrot is sweet in itself.
That's amazing. That's nice. True. Actually, that's even another way. Even also with your salads, because with salads, most of us were used to putting dressings on it, maybe mayonnaise or things like that to make it taste better. But that is not actually the healthy way. So with salads, we always advise that try and add something sweet to it to give it that sweet taste. Maybe sweet corn, or you can add fruits. I add fruits to my salad, so I either add grapes or mangoes or something sweet and healthy to just give it that sweet taste. Okay, does anybody have any other contribution or question? Okay, so I will.
I think that was also another quick way to get a side dish alongside whatever you are eating.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually. Yes, it is.
And cost effective. No many things to add.
Not many things to add. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Okay, so I'm going to share my slide now for the last recipe.
Okay.
That a plant-based diet has the ability to increase our lifespan and reduce our risk of certain health conditions. So basically, there are a lot of evidence that show that a plant-based diet that is low in saturated fats can help manage a healthy weight, reduce our risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and some certain types of cancer. Now, a lot of evidence also show that reduced consumption of animal products can help lower blood pressure. That's very amazing, and that's something that we should consider when we're trying to have a balanced meal. One of the major reasons why plant-based diet is considered to be healthy is because it's very rich in fiber, and fiber supports our gut microbiome, that is our good bacteria. So, including prebiotic foods such as yogurt, leeks, garlic, bananas, and oats in our daily diet will help support our bacteria, will help support our gut bacteria. Once again, studies have also shown us with a lot of evidence that consuming high fiber rich diet helps lower our blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels, just like I earlier explained when we were making our green bean stir fry. Another legume that we tend to shy away from is lentils. So the most common recipe for lentils, most things people know, is the lentil soup, which I've heard is really not tasty. I've actually never tried it before, so I heard it's not tasty, but I have tried lentils in cookies. So that's the recipe I'm going to be sharing with you today, red lentil cookies. So basically, for me, lentils kind of smells like beans and carrot at the same time. So it has that vegetable smell and bean smell, sort of a leguminous smell. So it smells like beans and carrots at the same time, and it's kind of like it has a sweet aftertaste. Maybe because I've only tried in cookies. I've never tried the soup. But lentils is high in fiber. It's very rich in fiber. It has high amount of folate and potassium, and just like any other legume, it contains no cholesterol, and it also has the ability to reduce our cholesterol level and manage our blood pressure. So for this recipe, I'm going to be using lentils, and what I did was that I boiled the lentils for 10 minutes. I used very little water because I didn't want to lose the nutrients. So I ensured that while it was boiling, the water was draining. So I boiled it for 10 minutes in very little water. So when you're boiling yours, put very little water and be checking it to ensure that it doesn't burn out or the water doesn't run out. But make sure that you don't put too much water. So, because we're not going to use the water, we want the lentils to absorb back all the nutrients when it's done boiling. So this has been boiled just to soften it a bit for 10 minutes. I'm also going to be using egg. I'm using some vanilla extract for flavoring, baking powder, salt, and in place of butter, I'm going to be using peanut butter. Now for my peanut butter, I'm using the crunchy peanut butter because I want some of that crunch in the cookies. But if you want a smooth cookie, no need for the crunchy one, just use the regular plain peanut butter. Now for healthy baking, I remember someone has asked me this before, that what flour do I recommend for healthy baking. I either use almond flour or whole wheat flour or any other plant-based flour. You can use oats flour or you can use even lentil flour. So you will have to dry your lentils and grind them to flour, to a ground powder consistency. So but for this recipe I'm going to be using almond flour, and aside from almond flour I will also be using oats. So I'll be using rolled oats. Now the difference between, there's actually a difference between rolled oats and your regular quicker oats that we have. So when baking, it's advised to use rolled oats because rolled oats tend to absorb the moisture. It absorbs all the flavors, all the baking flavors, and retains them, unlike your regular oats. The reason is because, I'm just going to show you a bit of sample. You can see that for rolled oats, the grains are quite, it's wider and fatter, so that will help it to retain all the moisture and lock everything in. Now with baking, we need to get it right with the measurements. If you go wrong with the measurements, you go wrong with the entire process and which whatever you want to achieve at the end. So I've got some measuring cups here and we're going to get measuring. I picked this recipe because it's a very easy recipe. We're literally just going to combine all the ingredients together, and we're not using a mixer or anything. I'm going to be using a processor. So if you don't have a processor, you can just use a regular bowl and just mix everything together. So I picked this recipe because of kids. So most kids won't eat legumes. A lot of kids will pick them out of the food. But with this one, it's in cookies and the kids might not know. So it's a way to hide the legumes in something sweet for the kids. Also, did you notice that we're not using sugar? Yes, we're not using sugar in this recipe. So in my food processor, I'm just going to add the lentils. I'm going to throw everything in. So I'm going to add my salt, basically almost a pinch. Salt. Okay, so I'm going to do 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder. You want to make sure that that's leveled, perfectly leveled. 1.5 teaspoon. So going to be doing 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla flavor. Then I'm going to add in my oats. For the oats, I'm going to measure 1/4 cup. So my cup has the measuring quantity there, the unit. So I'm just going to do 1/4. Okay, that in. And then for our almond flour, I will measure out 1/8. So I don't have a 1/8 cup, but I'm just going to do basically half of the 1/4 cup. Just going to pour in half of that. That's basically 1/8. We're using 1 egg. So basically, just like I said, it's like a one mix recipe, like everything all together recipe. That's what we call it. So everything goes in all together. I'm going to be adding the peanut butter, which is going to act as our butter. So this will be 1/4 cup too. Just going to scoop that out. So I'm going to add in the peanut butter. That's 1/4 cup. in. Now for sweetener, because we're not using sugar, you can either use maple syrup, but I'm going to be using applesauce because I want a bit of that fruity taste. So I'm just going to put in 1 teaspoon applesauce. So applesauce is basically just reduced apples. So it's your cooking apples, the brambly apple. I'm making that 2 teaspoons. The brambly apple. So it's been placed on the stove. It's something you can do in your house. You just chop up your apples, place them in a saucepan with a bit of water. If you want to add in sugar in it, you can. If you don't want to add in sugar, that's fine. And just let it cook over time and reduce. So that's basically just your applesauce. So all my ingredients, everything is in here. I'm just going to process this now for a bit and make sure everything mixed up properly. So I'm gradually mixing all of this together. I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of rolled oats. I'm just going to open this up. Okay, so I'm just going to toss that in. And also at this point you can decide to add, because of the kids, you can decide to add chocolate chips or anything, any type of topping you want. So I'm going to be using raisins. I'm going to be adding in some mixed raisins. I'm also going to be adding in some desiccated coconuts. Just put in a bit of that. I like raisins, so I'll just add some more. Just adding a bit more. Okay. So we're going to mix all. So this is mixed up a bit. I didn't mix it too much. I just wanted it to. So I'm just going to take this out. Mix that in with my spatula. You can see it's kind of like a firm consistency. It's quite firm. And I still have some oats there that hasn't been grounded to bits, and that's fine. Okay. I'm just going to put a wrap over this and put it in the fridge to set for about 30 minutes. Just going to put this in the fridge to set for 30 minutes and then we'll come back and bake. So our cookie dough has been chilling in the fridge for 30 minutes. I have lined a baking tray with baking paper, and this is because I do not want the cookies to stick to the bottom of the pan. I want them to come out easy when they are baked. So if you have an ice cream scoop, you can use that, but I'm just going to use my tablespoon and just scoop out the butter. So one at a time. Unlike your regular cookies that you have to give space when placing them on your baking tray, with this you actually don't have to, because the cookies are not going to spread out. So you just want to give the To make it fun in the kitchen with your kids, you can also just use your hands and scoop them out and roll them into a ball, because you can tell that the dough is quite firm, and just roll it into a ball and place it on the sheet. The kids will enjoy doing that. So they basically don't have to be perfect. So just like I said, to make it more fun for the kids, you could just roll them up into a ball, just depending on what shape, how, if you want them to be perfect. So I'm going to roll some up and I'm going to leave some just the way they are, so we can tell the difference. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven to bake at 180 degree for 10 minutes. These are our red lentils cookies. So these have baked in the oven for 10 minutes. Halfway through when they were baking, I took a spoon, the back of a spoon, and I just pressed in the center of the cookies to make it a bit flatter. So usually you're supposed to do that before popping the cookies into the oven, but I forgot to do that, so I just opened the oven halfway. You can see that the cookies are quite moist, and obviously I'm sure it will be a bit crunchy too. So I'm going to try some of this. It's really nice. The blend of the mix of the fruits and the applesauce just gives it that sweet taste. It's really nice. So with your kids, you can, instead of using fruits, or if you don't like fruits personally, you can try chocolate chips, any type of topping at all that you would like to try. For vegans and vegetarians who consume just plant products, it's easy for them to exceed the guideline of eating 5 portions of fruits and vegetables a day. But they are at risk of certain nutrient deficiency, which may affect their mind and their body. Now, this is probably because certain types of essential vitamins and minerals, such as iron, calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, and iodine, are not easy to get if you solely focus on plant foods. However, a well-planned plant-based diet can support healthy living at every age and every stage of our life. Yes, we do have people who eat just animal products and are healthy, and we have people who eat only plant products and are healthy. But studies have shown that reducing animal products to minimal amounts and increasing plant-based alternatives will help us live a better life and to get best of both worlds. Why won't we just want to get best of both worlds? Why decide to stick to only one? Now, there's a popular saying that to lengthen thy life, you need to lessen thy meals. But at this point, I'm going to say, to lengthen thy life, lessen the consumption of animal products and increase the consumption of plant-based products. Thank you so much for joining today's session with me. See you next time. Bye.
Wow, that was good. Yummy cookies. I hope you still have some of this left.
It went down really fast. So
Oh, really?
yes, so I'm sorry. I actually don't have any of them left.
Yeah, I'm quite conscious of time, so let's just pick some questions from the house. Has anybody got any burning question through their video?
For me, it is not a question.
Okay.
This is just amazing. And I would never have thought that such a recipe existed. Lentils. I'm gonna try that tomorrow, and I'll definitely send a photo in the group chat. Thank you very much, Sylvia.
Yes,
You're not the only one. I think I was also
looking
saying I'll
forward
try
to
that. Okay. Any more?
Okay, just before we ask for any more, I just want to ask the general audience. I know a lot of people struggle with eating legumes, especially beans. Is there anyone here that has issues when they eat beans? How do you feel and what do you do exactly to stop that? Because a lot of people shy away from eating beans and they say, oh, they have heartburn or they bloat after. Is there anyone who has such issues?
I think for me, as you just said, mostly the bloated stomach, the flatulence, and all that. It deters me from having to move close to legumes, especially beans, quite often. So a lot of us, I think that is just always the issue, and I don't know, I, I just don't do anything about it. I just avoid it. So I don't know what others do to reduce that impact of the legumes.
Okay, yes. So the reason why when most people eat beans while they feel bloated or they have heartburn is because the fiber in beans. So the I don't want to go into deep to the science part, but part of the fiber contains a complex type of sugar, oligosaccharide, which the body cannot break down. So now the body doesn't have the enzyme necessary to break down that particular sugar. So when we eat beans, it's supposed to be broken down in the small intestine, but because we don't have the enzyme to break it down, it's transported to the large intestine. Now, our gut bacteria in the large intestine will then act on that sugar. And now that process of acting on the sugar will release hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane gas. Now, it's that gas in your system that makes you feel really bloated and gives you the heartburn, and you start having abdominal discomfort. So, what I would advise, even if no one here has that issue, if you know someone who has that issue, so studies have also have advised and shown us with lots of evidence that if you soak your beans 8 hours before you cook it, it tends to oligosaccharide is actually soluble, so it tends to reduce the content of the oligosaccharide tends to reduce it to about 58%. So you can now boil your beans. And I've also noticed that most people, when they boil beans first, they parboil their beans first, take the water out, then boil it again. That is something that will also help. Now, secondly, whenever you're eating beans, or yeah, basically because it's mostly with beans, not all legumes. Whenever you're eating beans, always try as much as possible to drink lots of water. Because the more you drink water, the more it flushes it out of your intestine, and your gut bacteria will not have the time to act on it. So it will leave your intestine just before the bacteria has the time to act on it. And also try as much as possible to be incorporating beans into your diet in bits and bits, not just having it at once or at a go if you know that it's something your body reacts to. So that's just all I was just going to say on that. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
our time is fast, so I will drop
Yeah.
the recipes in the group chats. I will drop the slide in the group chat so I'll drop the slide and I'll drop tips on how to have a well planned, because it's one thing to be on a plant-based diet, it's another thing to ensure that it's a well planned plant-based diet, because you have to have a mix. You have to have a mix of plant products and animal products in order to have a well planned diet. So I will drop tips and the recipes on the group.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. I think, yeah, drop the recipe. I think a lot of us will want to try this the lentil cookie and even the very first one. I think in general, the if you look at the stir fry, the green bean stir fry, it been cheap to do, fast and really more healthy. The nutrient content alone of green beans, as you said, really is enormous, which can help us to choose it. So I would like to thank you very much for giving us this wonderful cooking session. It was lovely, and I think we have learned a lot from it, especially the lentil cookie. A lot of us will be trying it out very soon. So I think afterwards, Orlando will come in, but I'll just hand over to CAHN, and Orlando can come in. So, Sylvia, thank you very much
Thank you.
for your session. And thank
Thank
you everyone for contributing and also enjoying the session. Thank you for coming. So, Tekina or Elizabeth?
Thank you so much for that, Sylvia. It was very interesting to see the different recipes that you had going. So thanks again. So anyone that has questions, we'll put our email in the chat. So it's health@cahn.org.uk. So just email us. And over to you, Orlando, for our physical activity session.
Hey, everybody. So thank you, Sylvia, and thank you, Dr. Evans, for facilitating that amazing cooking masterclass. I was taking notes myself because I'm not the best cook, to be honest. But one of my New Year's resolutions is to improve my cooking skills. So I'm definitely taking notes for this one, all right? So tonight, welcome to tonight's Tabata session, fitness session. All you're going to need tonight is a mat, plenty of water, and a space. All right, so again, we've got Tabata style training, circuit training. We're gonna go 20 seconds of low to moderate intensity work mixed in with 20 seconds of complete rest. All right, so let's get started. Let me turn my tunes up. If everybody's ready, find a space. Let's get straight into it on this lovely hot day. So we're gonna start off with a jog on the spot. All right, so people, to your spaces. Let's get ready in 3, 2, 1. Let's jog on the spot. Let's go. That's it, people. Nice and light to start off with. We're trying to wake everything up. We're trying to get the blood flowing, waking those muscles up. 3, 2, 1. Let's reach across. 1, 2. Let's go. Both sides now. Reach across. Keep that going. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now squat reach. Nice and low, touch the floor. Reach up nice and high. There we go. Keep that going, people. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 10 seconds. Catch your breath. Get a quick sip of water. Last few sips of water. Okay, back to your spaces, everybody. Now we've got star jumps, okay? Star jumps above the head. 30 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. There we go, people. We should be getting nice and warm now. So you can speed it up a little bit. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go down, twist both sides. Let's go. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Jogging on the spot. Let's go. Last 15 seconds. And then we're going to go into our first exercise. Okay, last few sips of water, my people. Back in the middle. Okay, so first move. Again, we've got 5 rounds of 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. All right, so first move, we've got core and the legs and the butte. All right, so we're gonna go reverse lunges to knee raise. So watch me. Go here, back down here, and up, nice and strong. Back down here, and up. All right, what I want you to do, because there's 5 rounds, I want you to start on your weaker side. All right, if you know which kind of leg's your dominant leg, any footballers in the house or anything like that. My strong leg is my left leg, so I will start with my right leg. All right, so we want to try and get them imbalances worked out.
Asamane, Chime can have a few meanings.
Alexa, let's plug her out. So start on your weaker side. All right, weaker side. So you have 3 rounds on your weaker side and then 2 rounds on your strong side. All right, so reverse lunge. Bang, knee raise. Stay on one side, work on that balance. Keep that core nice and locked in. Okay, there. All right, people, let's go. First 5 rounds. Core and leg. Let's get busy. Get ready. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 20 seconds. Working that balance. Start nice and slow. Like this on the floor. Straight back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20-second rest. Change legs every time. Okay, when we start with your weaker side, now to the strong side. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strong side now. Let's go. Keep that going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. 20 seconds. 2 down. 10 seconds. We're going back in. Back to your weaker side now. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's get busy. Everybody, let's go. Let's go work it, people. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Time. 20-second rest. 3 down, 2 to go. Get ready. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Back to your strong side. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On time, my people. 4 down, 1 to go. 10 seconds before it's game time. Last one. Back to your weak side. Get ready. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's get busy. water break. Well done. Core should feel nice, legs should feel activated. Get that water break. All right, 15 seconds. Plenty of water tonight. Kicking, my both windows are wide open. Okay. So next move, we've got core, legs, practically the whole body. Practically the whole body. All right, so what I want you to think about is having a massive medicine ball, you can call them a slam balls, or massive balls that are quite squidgy, and the weight you can slam them. All right, we've got a big heavy ball here. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have it beside our legs. All right, we're gonna do, bend down here, pick it up, we're gonna go round like a clock. Bang, slam it down. All right, pick it back up, around, working that core, around, tense that core, slam. All right, we've got 5 rounds, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Game time, exercise number 2, people, let's get busy. So put that heavy ball next to your legs. Get yourself ready. So start either side. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Slam that ball. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. 1 down. Really put some effort into that grab, okay? Try and trick your body to think there's actually a ball there. All right? Make sure everything's nice and tense. Squeeze when you go down. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go. To go. Last one coming up, my people. 10 seconds. Get yourself ready. Going in 3, 2, 1. Let's get to slamming. Keep going, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, Rest, people. Water break. 2 down. Well done. Seconds. If you want to grab a tin of tomatoes or baked beans or anything you've got, or a dumbbell or kettlebell, you can bring that in now as well. 10 seconds. All right, people, move number 3. We've got kettlebell swing, so single arm kettlebell swing to high pull. All right, working the bum, the lower back, shoulders, arms. Again, full body. I want to give you as much as I can. All right, so we've done kettlebell swings before. I think we've done 2-handed ones before where we're here and we're swinging. It's all coming from the hips and the bum. This time we're going to go single arm. All right, one side at a time. Again, like the last exercise one before, start with your weak side first. So I'm right-handed. So I'll start with my left side first. All right, so you get an extra rep, an extra set on your weak side. All right, so one-handed here. Gonna swing. So as we swing and get to the chest, we're gonna pull, practice pulling that kettlebell or dumbbell back, and we're gonna push it forward, back into our swing. All right, try and make it flow. High pull, swing, high pull, swing, high pull. All right, 5 rounds, 20 on, 20 off. Start on your weaker side. All right, let's go. Kettlebell swings. Let's have some fun, people. Come on. So starting with your weak side. Kettlebell swings with a high pull. Get ready in 3, 2, 1. Let's get busy. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. 1 down. With that swing, make sure it's all hips. Boom. Okay. Get that momentum. Get that momentum. All right. Your arm is just a piece of string holding the tin. All right. It's all about that lower body. Get that nice thrust going. All right. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Strong hand now. Come on. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. 2 down. 10 seconds left to rest. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Back to the weak arm. Really be aggressive on that pull. Be aggressive. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. And rest. 3 down. 2 to go. 10 seconds. Back to the strong side. Now with my strong side. Back to the strong side. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And rest. 4 down. 1 to go. 10 seconds. One quick water break. 3 down. Oh yeah. Fifteen seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, now bring your mats in. Get your mats handy. You might not need the mats, to be honest. So. Okay, last one now. We've got wide arm plank. All right. So usually we do it either here, press up position, or here. All right. Today we're going to go extra wide here. All right. So we're going to bring those lats in as well. Back of the arms here. Back of the back, should I say? Just under the arms. All right. So nice and wide here. Bum nice and flat and straight. Core sucked in and just hold. All right. Last 5 sets. 20 seconds on. 20 seconds off. All right, so wide arm plank. Last one, people, 5 rounds. Let's get busy. Okay, so down to your mats. Get ready. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, nice and strong. Nice and strong. 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest to your knees. Take those arms off if you need to. 10 seconds left to rest. The mat. 3, 2, 1, bucket. Wide. 100. Oh, nice and strong. Nice and strong. 1, 2, 1, time. That one was super good. Back in 3. Back in 7 for 3. Oh, take your mind elsewhere. Mental toughness, focus. 2, 1, time. Now, 2 to go. So going back in. 7, 4, 3, 1, go. Oh, nice and strong. Nice and strong. Come on. 3, 2, 1, time. Last one coming up. Last one. Get yourself ready. We're going back in. Last one in 3, 2, 1. Show what you got. Let's go. Let go. Go. Hold like people. Last one. Nice and strong. 1. Solid. 4, 2, 1. Outside. 1, 2. side. Quick water break. And then we'll cool down and stretch off. Well done. Well done tonight, everybody. Tough session, this heat. But we brought the heat tonight. There we go. We brought the heat. Okay, 10 seconds, and we're going to go back to our spaces. Let's start to cool down. So nice and slow and controlled. Let's go. Squat down, touch the floor, reach up nice and high. Let's go. Okay, next side to side. Ear to shoulder. Hip rotations, nice and slow. Change direction. Front to back. Cross our legs this time. Cross your legs. Try and touch your toes. Okay, let's go the other way. Okay, squat down nice and deep. Elbows in your knees, inside your legs, and hold. Okay, bums on the floor, legs apart. Try and get your head to the floor. Legs nice and straight. Now try and get your head to your left knee. Back to the middle, down to your right knee.
Just kick a little something for them calves that be bumping. Now what is life? One day to dance and show them life. So let's unite to the bottom of the first and find when you black.
Right to your feet, last one. Knees together. Bring your heel to your bone. Change legs. Okay, shake it all off. And that's time, people. Well done. Very well done. Back over to the CAHN studios. Where we at?
Hi there, Orlando. Thanks for that.
Hey.
How did everyone find this evening session? Just feel free to use the contact chat box and to posting your comments in there. Thank you once again, Orlando, for this evening session. And thank you once again to Dr. Evans and also to Sylvia for today's special CAHN cooking masterclass. How did everyone find today's session? Feel free to use the chat box, posting your comments, your feedback, just so that we can learn from you and know how to improve for the next future sessions. Over to you, Orlando. Any feedback? How did you find today's session?
It was good. It was tough working in this heat today. So very well done to everybody that took part, whether it be on Zoom, YouTube, Facebook. So well done to everybody. We've got one more week of Tabata, and then we're going to go back to some combat training, some boxercise. All right. So one more week of circuit, Tabata style, and then we are going back to boxing. So hope everyone joins us and stays with us at CAHN. Hope everyone's feeling a little bit fitter from when they first started. And yeah, just try and make exercise and well-being and sports a part of your lifestyle moving forward.
Great. Thanks for that, Orlando. And that leads me on to my next point. We have our CAHN annual Windrush Day celebration event in Alexandra Park. And Orlando will also be running some different activities there. We've got netball games. We've got 6-a-side football tournaments. So come on down to the park, and to try to take part as well. But then also we're back again next week, Tuesday, for our CAHN Healthy Hearts between 6 to 7:30. You can still sign up for that session. Just feel free to email us at events@cahn.org.uk. And I believe one of my colleagues will send over the details. Throughout the week, if you need access to any support, our counselling service and helpline is available, and my colleagues will post those contact details there. If you'd like to sign up to our mailing list, you can also email us at info@cahn.org.uk to receive notifications of all our services, projects, and events happening here at CAHN. We look forward to seeing you all as well at our CATIP Health Hour on this Saturday as well. And I believe we also have another CATIP Health Hour this Thursday around monkeypox as well. So feel free to tune into those sessions. And if you'd like to sign up to those sessions, feel free again to email us at info@cahn.org.uk or at events@cahn.org.uk as well. We look forward to seeing you all. Have a lovely evening and see you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Well done. Have a great week. Hope to see you.